You're gonna love this news. Apparently Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns is in the works. What a matchup this is. What a fantastic fight this is for fight fans. It is the stylistic matchup, everything about it, the title implications behind this for whoever wins. Amazing, and we're gonna dig into everything. But first,
you subscribe to DarkhorseMMA and give this video a thumbs up. Boom.
Now, first and foremost, shout out to Gilbert Burns for taking on Khamzat Chimaev when no one else would. Gilbert Burns, he is ranked second in the welterweight division. You know, he's eager to get another title shot at Kamaru Usman. You know, Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns fought not too long ago at the UFC Performance Institute. You know, it was a good fight while it lasted. It ended in round 2, I believe, with Kamaru Usman TKOing Gilbert Burns, showing off that Trevor Whitman striking. So yeah, going back to Gilbert Burns, the respect this guy needs for taking this fight. Gilbert Burns is ranked second. Realistically, he doesn't need to take this fight. You know, he could if he wanted to take the Leon Edwards route, which is probably not the best route to take, so he's smart for this. He could have waited and maybe see if he could have got another fight, maybe a fight with Leon Edwards, who's ranked right below him at number 3. You know, that fight, number 2 versus number 3, you know, makes all the sense in the world for a title fight. But would the UFC make it? It's not for sure. It's not confirmed. What we do know is Khamzat Chimaev wants to fight, and he wanted to fight in December, but he got it in January. And as UFC fans, we'll take it because Khamzat Chimaev is the hottest thing in MMA right now. You know, Conor McGregor's injured, Conor McGregor's losing, all these other guys are kind of whatever. Habib's out of the picture, and Khamzat Chimaev is the man in the UFC right now. Everyone is talking about him. Gilbert Burns to step up and fight a guy who is now ranked 10th with only 4 fights in his UFC career, to risk that title shot that he wants so badly. That's his legacy, that's his dream, that's why he's put in so much work. You know, Gilbert Burns, I don't even know how many fights he's had in the UFC, but he's had many fights in the UFC. He even used to fight at lightweight, which is crazy to think of. Some people probably don't even know that Gilbert Burns used to fight at lightweight. It seems like an eternity ago at this point. But not a lot of people would risk that title shot, you know, especially being number 2 ranked against the guy who's number 10. But Gilbert Burns, if he really wants a title shot against Kamaru Usman, he's gonna have to fight Khamzat Chimaev. It sucks for Gilbert Burns, I guess, because he's risking a lot. Like, if he loses this fight, which is very possible because Khamzat Chimaev is a beast, we all know that, but the risk that Gilbert Burns is risking in this fight is immense, and it's a lot he's risking. But I'm sure Gilbert Burns realizes that if he really wants that title shot, he's gonna have to fight this guy. And the reason for this is because Khamzat has all the hype in the world, and the UFC wants to push him to fight Kamaru Usman for the title because Kamaru Usman isn't getting any younger. You know, he's up there in age, and Khamzat Chimaev is a baby in the game. He's only 26, so they want to capitalize as early as possible on that possible star power that he has. So they want to fast track him to the title, and that's Kamaru Usman. And what's a better way to get another title shot at a guy that already TKO'd you? That's a hard enough sell in itself, is by facing a guy who has all the hype in the world, stepping up, just being like, I don't care who you are, I'm gonna fight whoever. The Max Holloway, Habib, Khamzat Chimaev mindset, where it's like, I'm truly the best in the world, and I'm willing to fight whoever, wherever, whenever. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna beat anyone. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna eventually be a champion. That's the kind of mindset that Gilbert Burns is showing right here. And we know that Gilbert Burns, he loves remaining active. He loves taking short notice fights. Respect to that. Not many people would do that in itself. And in between his UFC fights, he has grappling matches. He has jiu-jitsu matches. This is just unbelievable, this guy. He's unbelievable. And just going back on Gilbert Burns and facing Khamzat Chimaev for Khamzat Chimaev's hype, he has a lot of hype around him. And if he goes in there and beats Khamzat Chimaev in impressive fashion, as an awesome call out to Kamaru Usman, the champ, we all know the UFC is an entertainment business at the end of the day, and you need to sell pay-per-views. That's what's very attractive. That's why they're pushing Khamzat Chimaev from number 10 to fighting number 2. You know, that's the whole point of this business in the first place. So if Gilbert Burns realizes that, does this, wins impressively, calls out Kamaru Usman on the mic, and then maybe the UFC gives him that title shot. That's what I envision is the way for Gilbert Burns to get another shot at Kamaru Usman, is stepping up, going all in on the poker table, facing Khamzat Chimaev, risking everything, risking your next title shot, and winning. And if you win, you get the next title shot. What else does Gilbert Burns have to do? You know, this guy just beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. May not have been the most impressive fashion, which is exactly why he needs to win impressively this time to get the next UFC title shot, because UFC fans still have a bitter taste in their mouth with that Wonderboy fight because it wasn't the most entertaining for the casual fans. You know, he did exactly what he had to do to win that fight, and I don't blame him, because what are you going to do? Strike with Wonderboy, one of the best strikers in the UFC, maybe the second best behind Israel Adesanya? Of course, man, I don't blame you. I'm still a fan of Gilbert Burns. I'm impressed. I thought he was going to lose that fight. So shout out to Gilbert Burns for winning that fight. A hard matchup with Wonderboy. And this fight is so so enticing because of the stylistic matchups. You know, Khamzat Chimaev hasn't fought a guy with the grappling credentials that Gilbert Burns has. As I said before, Gilbert Burns loves competing in grappling fights, jiu-jitsu fights. We know that in between his UFC fights. So it's interesting to see what Chimaev will want to do in this matchup. Is he going to want to strike with him like he did with Gerald Meerschaert? Is he going to want to strike with Gilbert Burns? Because when Gilbert Burns faced Kamaru Usman, we all know that the two used to be training partners, and Kamaru Usman wanted no part on the ground with Gilbert Burns, which is interesting because Kamaru Usman, he's an outstanding wrestler. He out-grappled Tyron Woodley for 5 rounds. Didn't get taken down against Colby Covington. So with Khamzat Chimaev, it's interesting the kind of approach he's going to want to take. I think he's probably going to want to strike with him. I firmly do believe that he's going to want to strike with him just based on his approach in the Gerald Meerschaert fight. Just because Meerschaert, he has the most submissions in middleweight history, in the UFC's middleweight history, and he decided he didn't want to take him down right away, shoot for a double leg right away in the first few seconds of the fight.
Stance in black, Khamzat. Oh, man!
He instead was patient and waited for an opening, landed that piston right hand and knocked him out. So it's very interesting to see the approach he's going to take. I wouldn't be surprised if Chimaev just wrestles him at all, because Chimaev definitely wouldn't care. If his coach says to wrestle, he's going to wrestle. He's so loyal and he's so focused to his coach that he's going to do whatever his coach says. It's amazing to see, and it's very interesting. It's very exciting. It's a fun fight to watch. It's a fun fight to be anticipated for, you know, with the stylistic matchups, like as I just said, and the title implications, because if Khamzat Chimaev wins, which he very well could, then he gets a title shot. There's no doubt about it. He gets the next title shot. And Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev is one of the biggest fights the UFC can make right now, so that is amazing. Gilbert Burns, if he wins, can very well get the title shot as well. It would be tough to see Gilbert Burns beat Khamzat Chimaev and not get the title shot. That would suck, because I feel like he deserves it after taking all that risk. This fight is just amazing because it's going to be fun no matter where it goes. Striking, it's going to be fun. They're both great strikers. On the ground would probably be my favorite way for this fight to go. The jiu-jitsu of Gilbert Burns and then the wrestling and grappling of Khamzat Chimaev would be outstanding to watch. I'm a grappling nerd at heart. Absolutely. I would love to see that. If I would favor one guy in that grappling department, it would probably be Khamzat Chimaev. I know he's only ranked 10th and he's only has 4 fights in the UFC, but when it comes to wrestling versus jiu-jitsu, even as a jiu-jitsu guy, I got jiu-jitsu class later at 7 o'clock tonight. From what I've seen in the UFC from the top fighters in the world, look at all the champions. Most of them have a wrestling background. So when it comes to that, I'm going to take the wrestler over the jiu-jitsu guy all day, especially if the wrestler has some elite striking, and even with the jiu-jitsu guy having elite striking of his own. So you guys got to make sure to comment down below who wins this fight.
And also, you subscribe to Dark Horse MMA and give this video a thumbs up. Boom.